Hi friends, this is Wendy with Love and Stamp, and I'm excited that you're here with me today. Today we are going to make this a really cute card combo. This is a Trinity Stamps die set, and it actually hopefully is back in stock by the time you're watching this video. It may be out of stock right now. We are going to make a light up card. So we're going to use a one light from Pear Blossom Press that you see there on the left side. And we are going to use the little heart in this die set to make our push button for our one light. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So I die cut all the pieces, and I actually did a little bit of the figuring out of how I was going to make this work before I started the video. And basically what we're going to do is there's this die that cuts three little holes in the bottom of the toaster, and we're going to cut those out from the top layer. Now the intention would obviously be to cut those three little pieces and use them on the front of the card, but in our case we need to make a hole for a light, so we are going to cut them out of the top layer of this toaster. I just love this toaster. I think it's so cute. And FYI, if I could find a vintage looking toaster for my kitchen, I would 100% buy it. So if you happen to know where I could get a cool vintage looking toaster, I would love to know. So I chose a light and dark blue here for the card, for the toaster. And I don't really even know why I chose these colors. I just did. I knew that I wanted something light and dark so that I would have a nice contrast. So here I'm cutting out the little circles in a light color because I'm going to do a lot of light, dark to make the toaster come together. I did also cut the bottom of the toaster in silver foil cardstock that I have left over from a pack from the Paper Insider. And I'm going to add this to the bottom of the toaster first, of the base layer of the toaster. Then I'm going to add the top part of the toaster with dimensionals. But first we have to figure out how our light is going to sit and where it's going to sit before we go too much further. I have a piece of vellum here that I use from my vellum pack from Pear Blossom Press. If you love vellum but you don't need tons of it and you want it in different colors, Pear Blossom Press has a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch pack. I think it has 48 sheets of vellum in it, and it has different colors. So the cool thing about that is that it's already cut down small, and then it's got all the different colors. So even if you're not a person who cares to make light up cards, grabbing some other products from Pear Blossom Press is a great option. They've got the vellum packs. They also have some acetate packs. They've got black cardstock packs. They've got, I think they have foil as well. And then they also have this foam tape that I'm using right here. This foam tape is amazing because it is thicker than regular foam tape. Like it stands up taller. And the best part about it is it's repositionable for 24 hours. I almost said 48. For 24 hours. So in fact, in this card, when I make this card, I have to pull this up. Now, a reason I think they formulated this cool foam tape to be repositionable for that long is because a lot of times when you're making a card with a light, sometimes you don't get it all laid down perfectly. So you need a little wiggle room to be able to pull it back up. Now, I showed this trick in another video, and I'm going to continue showing it because I really want you to see how it works. Grabbing your MISTI tool to get everything lined up correctly for your light up cards is such an easy thing to do. So I highly recommend trying this. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm going to line these up where I want them to attach to each other, okay? And where I want my light to go. So I've already built my backing. You saw how I did that using the foam tape. So I already built the back of this layer, and I put my light where it was going to go. Then I'm going to place this with the foam tape I haven't peeled the backing off the foam tape, so it's not sticky yet. So I'm placing it down where I want it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of tacky tape and I'm going to put it on my hand first to make sure it's not too sticky. I have had some problems with this purple tape being too sticky and tearing my cardstock, so I am cautious with it now. So I'm lining this up exactly where I want it, closing my MISTI lid, and then I'm picking up the entire piece on the other side. Now I'm going to put my light in place where I want it to go. I'm going to add some strong double-sided adhesive on the back of the light. I get this at scrapbook.com and it is fantastic. It's an 1/8 of an inch wide. By the way, all the products I'm using today are linked below the video under supply list, in case I didn't say that already. So if you want to grab any of these products, you can. And then there is another link that has my blog post where you can go and look at photos and shop my supply list there as well. Okay, so we're going to get this all in place. And then this is the magic. We're going to close the other side of the MISTI, holding everything in place, getting it just where I want it. We're going to close the other side of the MISTI, push it down, turn it over. And then when we push, you can see it's lighting up through that window. And now my light is exactly where I want it to be. So the next step is going to be removing all the backing from the foam tape. And then I'm going to just close this lid again. And then this layer will stick to my toaster in the place it's supposed to be. So this is just a phenomenal use for your MISTI and get your cards lined up really well. So right here you can see I pull this back up a little bit because I realized, oops, it's just a little bit cattywampus and I wanted to fix it. But it came up beautifully with no issues because that foam tape is repositionable. So now I need to cover those other two lights because I only want one light to shine. So that's why I cut these in the light blue so that I could cover them up and you would only see the one light shining when you push the button. So after we get those in place, the next steps is just to add all the fun details to this toaster. I cut this piece out of silver foil, and then the piece that goes in the center I cut out of the dark blue, and then the little handle or lever on the side that would pull your toast down I cut out of dark blue as well. I kind of wish I would have cut that out of light blue or silver, but you know, whatever. We made decisions and we stuck with them. That's how life goes. It's a card, right? It's not rocket science. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm going to do with this card. So I have been sharing with you guys, if you've been around here for a while, that I have weddings coming out the wazoo and new babies, and it's all kiddos that were little when I was in my 20s, and now they're in their mid-20s, and they are having babies and getting married. And I'm just in that stage of life where I'm realizing, oh my gosh, like I'm the generation that's not the young generation anymore. And it just goes really fast. All of a sudden you're like, holy crap, this is happening. Friends of mine's kids are having their own babies and getting married. And I had my daughter a little bit later than some of my friends, so had their kids. So it's interesting. There's about a 10-year gap between some of my friends' kids and my daughter. So here I want to go back to the card really quick. I'm ink blending. I ink blended in vintage photo and antique linen to make my toast. And all of this comes on that same die. I'm using E31, E33, and I think I used, just E31 and E33 to make little dots on the toast, layering that all up. Then I'm going to go around the edges with this heavy adhesive. I decided to cut a second backing for my card. And the reason I did that is because when you slip the toast into the little slot, it just was like hanging out off the back. So it wasn't tucked into anything. And I felt like it could possibly end up not coming out of the toaster correctly, if that makes sense. So, or out of the envelope correctly. Like I was afraid when they took the toaster out of the envelope, the little piece of toast would fall into the envelope and then they wouldn't know that there was a piece of toast and then the card wouldn't make any sense. So I created a pocket basically using a second backing here. And I put adhesive on the little top rim piece that you're seeing there that I just ran my fingers over. But underneath that is a pocket so that I still have a place to put my toast. And I'll show you that here right now. So I just going in and putting the toast right in there. And now the back is closed so that this piece of toast won't just like fall through and fall out the back. So I would highly recommend putting an extra little piece on the back like I just did, and that will just secure your piece of toast. Now for the next steps, I wanted to do all of my sentiments and die cutting for that. And I sped this up quite a bit because this was a pretty tedious process, if I'm being honest, to get all of my letters lined up right. And the front of this is going to say this calls for. And then when they pull the toast out, it will say a toast on the toast. And it took me a while to decide how I was going to do all of this. So I messed around with it all, got everything where I wanted it to be, and then finished putting all the card together. And then you'll see we're going to color the letters for the toast to kind of make those fun and different. And then we'll wrap up the card. So while we're doing that, I thought we would have just a little bit of story time. One thing that I have noticed people have been asking me about off and on in my creative vault and even here on YouTube or in my messages is my daughter and her horse, because a lot of you have been following the saga of this horse. Really quick, back to the card. This is the post-it note not post-it note technique. This is the press and seal technique. So essentially I'm just putting down press and seal and it's picking up all those pieces for me. And then I'm able to put them all back in place after I add glue to them. So my daughter is doing really well with her horse now. Her horse is actually in training to become a better equipped horse, and my daughter is in training to learn how to ride better. So they both are in a phase of learning the next steps, basically. And our goal is for her to show her horse this coming year, or this year in 2025, to show her horse in some different horse shows throughout the year. And she'll be showing in ranch riding classes. So we're really excited about that. And things are going well in that department. So here for this word, I decided to use the E31, I think I'm using E33 to put down a base layer. And then we're doing like E35 and 37 to do a gradient or an ombre on these letters. And I really like how these turned out, and they kind of pop off of the background of the word toast, and they're just really cute. So, in other news, what else is happening? My husband is going to be turning 50 this year, and I am working on planning his birthday. So if any of you would be interested in sending him a birthday card for his 50th, that would be so fun. And he loves fishing, and he's a power lineman, so those are a couple of the things. Like, he's just a blue collar guy and good old boy, loves the cowboy life. Like, he's not a cowboy, but he likes all that. And so yeah, very country. We're very country, that's the word. So anyway, so he's turning 50, so I'm working on putting together a party for him. What I really wanted to do was go away for his birthday. I thought it would be fun to go somewhere. Nope, he just wanted a party at our house. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm excited to plan all of that for him. Okay, so here, back to the card, we pretty much have the card base finished. You saw there that I took a dark marker and added some shading to the edges of the toaster. Now I'm going to stamp this heart from the other stamp set from Trinity. I'm going to stamp it in Midnight from Concord and Ninth. And then I'm going to stamp in white on top of it with the word push from the Pear Blossom Press stamp set. And then we're going to die cut that heart out, put it on the toaster in the correct spot so that we are able to, and I didn't like how this heart stamped, so I had to stamp another one, so that we are able to guide our recipient to the fact that this is an interactive card and they need to push a button to get it to light up. So yeah, so that's what's happening. Hubby's turning 50 this year. We're going to be celebrating that. My birthday's coming up, and I think we're going to go for the day to a lake, and then maybe he asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and what I really want is some jewelry. I really love turquoise jewelry, sterling silver, Navajo style jewelry. So I'm hoping maybe like we can find a place that has some and we could hit that up and I could get a new piece of jewelry or something. Nothing crazy, just a little something. So yeah, and then I think we're going to be touring colleges, you guys. Holy crap, I can't believe I'm there. Anyway, this is the finished card. This calls for a toast. I definitely will be giving this for one of the weddings I have coming up this year. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you want any of the products you saw here today, you can grab them below the video. There's a link, says supply list. Scroll down past the writing to get to it. And I will catch you in the next video. Have a very good day. Bye-bye.